Okay, you guys, welcome. I know this is a short week, but we still got a lot to talk about. Um, we have Bree on the line. Everybody in the chat. I mean, how many people we got over there? Can you tell?
A lot of people popping in.
Okay, cool.
We almost 30 people so far, so they're slowly coming in. There was like 13 to start.
Oh, okay, got you. Oh, there. I want everybody to put a happy birthday in the chat for Bree. It's her birthday today, so everybody wish Bree a happy birthday. Yay!
Thank you. I'm a little older and not wiser.
Ain't you silly? What you say, a little older and not wiser?
Yeah,
Girl, listen,
maybe next year.
you so funny. Ah, okay. So there's a few things I want to cover outside of this because I've been in conversations where this hasn't been sitting well with some folks, and I kind of want to at least kind of give people a synopsis about what we go through every year around this time. But before I do that, I'm gonna do a formal introduction. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk. I gotta get used to my own name. Soap Corner Talk with us tonight as we recap both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of March 18th through the 22nd, even though we're only up to March 20th in the episodes. We usually recap The Young and the Restless in the first half of the show, and then we do The Bold and the Beautiful in the second half of the show. And then we have two other segments where it's Flip the Script and Who's Taking Several Seats. Okay? And we have our star of the week and our pickle of the week. Sour. So we got those two. And so yeah, that's what we normally do over here. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified every time a video, a live, spoilers are posted. And other than that, one other thing, because I want to go ahead and get this out the way. So I've heard, across other areas of social media, and I know people are not happy about the fact of tomorrow and Friday. We go through this every year. Okay? And I mean, there are some people that are really angry about this. And so with my folks over here, I don't want to just leave it hanging in the air. Some of you guys understand what happens, but some folks don't. They thinking like, why you got to put basketball on CBS when there's other sports channels? Well, I'm going to give you a quick little synopsis and then we'll get into the soaps. So, in the NC2AA men's basketball, there are 68 teams playing. 68. In the women's side, there are 64 teams playing. For the men, the basketball is on CBS, True TV, TBS, and TNT. The women, because I've heard some folks was like, why can't they just put this men's basketball on ESPN? Well, the women are on ESPN, ESPNU, ESPN News. So those other channels are being utilized for the women. And then the other four channels that I mentioned before are being utilized for the men. I've even heard people say, why do they need to do this? We don't need this. Well, as a basketball mom for 10 years, not only did my daughter play from age 5 to her senior year of college, but also her friends played on these same stages on CBS. I've watched them. And I've watched them grow up to get to this point. One thing about these are student athletes who also get a free education to pursue their goals and dreams, whether it's in professional sports or whether it's to go off into other career fields. Like currently, right now, even though Like I said, my daughter played in college for 4 years. Her undergrad was paid. She doesn't have any student debt for undergrad. She's now in graduate school.
Nice.
So that's why that's important. A lot of these kids play for years to get to this point. It's a goal of theirs. It's a special moment for these kids in their lifetime. So I just want to put that out there because, I mean, I understand we love our soaps. Me too. I know. I get it. But, there's been a little bit of vitriol when it comes to, the soaps being preempted for this. But this is huge for these kids. A lot of, like I said, my daughter played for 10 years. They play AAU, elementary, high school, club ball, traveling team in order to get these scholarships to play on these stages. And then the fact that they had great records this past season to get to even go to the dance is what they call it. So I'm not going to sit and talk about that all day, but I just wanted to put that out there just to kind of give a little understanding about the kids and also at the same time how the games are spread across many networks. It's not just CBS. Even ABC is doing part of the women's basketball. So they got everybody is trying to facilitate this for the kids. So just wanted to put that out there. That's all. Moving on. Did you have anything to say, Bree?
No, only that it's every year. It's every year. The sports is not going to go away. Everyone has their interests that they want to support. We support the arts with the soaps. There's people who support, March Madness and the basketball going into the hoop and all of that. So let's just get through this week.
Yeah, and hey, I got my brackets ready for both the men's and the women's team. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to actually do mine tonight.
Yeah.
I want to definitely do that.
Yeah, my daughter, even though she's past her basketball college years, she said, Mom, did you do your brackets? I'm like, I got them done. I did them. So, all right, moving on. Let's get to what happened in these last 3 days. Hey, Keish.
Hey.
Hey, Keish.
Hey.
All right, did you get a chance to watch The Young and the Restless? Because I know you text me to tell me that you still hadn't watched it at about an hour ago.
No, I literally just walked in the door like 15 minutes ago.
Okay, well, I mean, unless you were interested in Claire's dream today,
I wasn't. I remember you telling me that's what the episode was going to be today. So I didn't really care.
It was a real cleaning episode. I meant what I said in the group chat. I use it as background music for my cleaning.
I can't even believe that they actually did this episode like that.
Interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that they actually did that episode. That is crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't understand how Claire, who has been on this show for not even a year, is getting a standalone.
Exactly.
I get it, but I don't know. It's too soon.
She says too soon.
A whole standalone episode.
Right.
Yeah. And like I was saying yesterday, that she's getting the RJ treatment where she's coming in and like all of this attention and focus has been on her as far as the Newman clan is concerned. It's been all about Claire, and she's getting redeemed, and it's just like, what is going on here?
Right, girl. Yeah, I didn't know what, because I thought they was just going to have this dinner party where they introduce her to the family. It was totally not that at all.
Yeah, that would have been a better idea.
I know. That's what everybody thought, though.
It'll be her version of what family is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just bothered by the fact that they are spending this much time and attention on her already.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to talk about it. All right. So let's go ahead and move into The Young and the Restless for the week of the 18th. And yeah, this is gonna be good night. I mean, here's the other another reason why I wanted to start at 6 o'clock, because it is middle of the week, and I understand that some people still have to work tomorrow, including myself. I gotta be up at 6 a.m. So, I wanted to make sure we, get a chance to do it right after the episode ended, and I mean the particular week episodes ended, and we can go from there. So let me go ahead and do the summary for these 3 days, and then we'll break down the storylines. All right. So for the week of the 18th, Nikki's bold move against Jordan. Chelsea breaks down to Dr. Alcott, and Ashley raises Billy's suspicions. Jordan's life is in the balance after she ingests a toxin, and Summer refuses to accept Claire into the family. And Claire dreams of a life without Jordan, where Cassie's alive, Adam's an outsider, and Sharon and Nick are married. Good grief.
She didn't meet any of them damn people. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, girl. All right. So let's get Ashley out the way, because she was up in there calling people bro. Oh, that poor girl.
I was dying when she was sitting up at that bar and Billy walked over to her, and like the way she turned around and looked at him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, she is killing this split personality or whatever the condition is that she has. She's like killing this role right now.
I know.
Billy was hilarious.
A part of me doesn't even want her to go back to the original Ashley. I like for the fact that she came out with at least like 4 or 5 different personalities in one episode, and the one that keeps like the one who keeps like ragging on her family, that's my favorite personality, whatever that one is, whether it's not Ashley or it sounds like a Susan going off on her family, whatever personality that is. I'm here for Ashley, but maybe this is really her inner thoughts about her family or the people around her that she wouldn't be able to really say. I wonder if she's really just taking the time to get all of that out.
Yeah.
I need one more round of her insulting Abby.
You say you need one more round of her talking. You talking about what we heard last week when she was like, what she call her? Selfish and annoying and me.
My daughter is so annoying. Like, ugh. I birthed this. She didn't say that.
You may as well have.
Girl, that is hilarious. I mean, this version of Ashley is hilarious. I like this version. And she's so relaxed. She was flirting with Tucker last week, and it was just like, yeah, it's a different, it shows Eileen's versatility to kind of switch up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's her real middle name, Cheryl? Ashley's middle name is Suzanne? Oh, wow. Okay, so Susie Q is the one who's cussing out her family. Because especially since we can't really put a name on her condition just yet. So I'm just going to put names to her personality. So Susie Q is my favorite, who's cussing out her family and calling people broke in the bar. I love this Ashley, or this person.
Yeah, she's doing a phenomenal job, playing. But then she turned around and she texts Tucker and said, you know what? Don't call me ever again. Forget everything I said.
You don't know what she wants.
Nope, she don't. So I don't know. I'm wondering what's the end game with this. Is she going to just spiral on out, or is this going to draw Tucker in, or whatever the situation is?
I think this absolutely is going to end up bringing her and Tucker back together. But eventually she's going to get, they're not going to have this go on forever. So she's going to get help at some point.
Yeah, something's got to change.
I was about to say, because, what is her family doing? Because it's not like they haven't seen Ashley go crazy or know that she has had mental issues. I would like for there to be some sort of like, I want to say intelligent writing, but this writing that makes sense to like, here's someone with a mental, you know, issue right now, and you're witnessing it. It shouldn't be Tucker making a move to get her help, especially if she lives in that house with all those people who say they love her and are aware as to what's going on with her situation and her prior mental history. I don't understand why there's nothing progressing to getting her help. It's more progressing to leading her back to Tucker, which isn't going to do anything for
that's
her
the
issue.
problem. They're all just concerned about Tucker and what Tucker might be doing to her, and they're not even taking into consideration that she needs professional help. It's almost like they're in denial. They don't want to admit that she needs help. They just want to blame Tucker for everything that's going on.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say. They're trying to be so focused on Tucker, this is your fault. You caused this, instead of saying, Ashley, yeah, we need to help you. Because that wasn't the only interaction this week. It was the interaction she also had with Kyle at Crimson Lights when she was confused about what grade Harrison was in.
Yeah.
You know, and
what grade is he in?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't even know.
I was like, wasn't this boy like the little pretty little blonde boy? Wasn't he like 6 or 7? He can't be that old.
Yeah, so I guess maybe second grade.
Girl,
that's good enough.
listen, that's the thing. They didn't even reveal to the fans what grade the little boy was in, unless we missed something, you know. But I guess Kyle's reaction was that Ashley should have already knew that.
Well, I mean, well, I was gonna say like, it's not Ashley's fault. I mean, none of the people in Genoa City know or raise their kids at all. They go to boarding school,
Right?
So Kyle probably don't even know what grade this boy is. He'll probably see him when he turns 18. He's competing for the same woman.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of Harrison, because we had Victoria tell a half story to Summer and Kyle about what happened with Claire. And of course, Summer had to do some digging, end up talking to Victor. And listen, was it a surprise to you all that Nick wasn't sold on Claire?
No.
Oh, I guess he had been so quiet about it. You know, he wasn't like, oh, I really don't like her. He's just been going on and get along. And it was just interesting for him to be vocal about it at this point. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, that's how you feel. Huh? Okay.
I think he's kind of expressed a little bit about how he feels, but I think I feel like his thoughts on how Claire is would kind of cloud the scenario a little bit. So he might want to take himself out and let Victoria, take care of her daughter and get to know her daughter. His feelings towards Claire don't matter at this particular point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Claire should know how Nick feels, especially since Jordan sliced and diced him.
Yeah, he did. Initially, he kind of expressed a little bit of resistance to allowing her to be involved with their family right after the Jordan incident.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't said anything else since, because they were basically like, well, we're not just going to abandon her.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He really, that was the last time we actually heard him say something, but because he hadn't said anything since then, I just thought he just decided to just go with everybody else.
I mean, he don't really have a choice.
Right.
He was the only one that was against it. I mean, other than Adam now, that he knows what's going on, but everybody, Victor and Nikki and Cole and Victoria, were all for like bringing her into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't nothing he could do.
Yeah, slowly but surely they did. I'm kind of glad that Nick is kind of on the outskirts and not really sharing his viewpoint or opinion. But it would be nice to kind of get his point of view. But like I said, I think it's pretty clear for him how he feels. I feel that he's just trying to just get along for Victoria's sake and trying to keep some peace in the family, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember around the time that the Claire stuff happened, he was still wrapped up in Sally. Even after he got sliced and diced, he was more hurt and boohoo crying over the fact that Sally left him. So maybe he's just, trying to take it one day at a time like he did with Adam, somewhat.
Yeah, I'm wondering what direction they're going to take her in. So we might as well go ahead and talk about this dream because, okay, what was the purpose of all of that? Now, she obviously got the distorted cliff notes about the Newman family over the years from Jordan. But her dream was having Nick and Sharon being married for 20 some years. Kyle and Summer are still married. Cassie didn't die. She was the one that called the cops and ratted Adam out, which is why he's working as a waiter. And then all these girls' trips that her, Abby, and what's the girl's name?
Tessa.
No.
Ryan.
No. That what am I? Oh God, Summer. Yeah, Summer and yeah, all three of them were going to Paris and taking all these trips and shopping trips and stuff. Now I could see maybe that in her head because she probably like, oh, I could have bonded with my girl cousins and this and that. What was the other meaning of having, I guess, Cassie here? And what's your guys' thoughts on that whole dream? I know you didn't see it, right, Keish?
I didn't. I did see people talking about it online because I kept seeing posts saying how does Summer exist if Nick and Sharon have been married all this time?
That was my biggest gripe about this whole episode.
Nick is a cheater, so
right.
I just assumed that he cheated on Sharon. They just never got divorced.
Right. Like, how does that even work? And then on top of that, what about the other kids? There was no mention whatsoever of her siblings, Claire's siblings.
Was Noah there?
No, he had mentioned. Who was that? Was it was either one of the two of them mentioned that the kids was have sent their love or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord. Okay, that's probably why I brushed
over Sharon
that.
And Nick. What you say?
That's probably why I brushed over that because I'm like, how does she not even care about mentioning Johnny, Katie, Reed?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowhere in her fantasy. So her mom was just perfectly fine leaving Cole. They never had a happy ending. So her mother's dating life still remained the same. She predicted that well.
Yeah, which means Johnny and Katie wouldn't have existed.
Exactly.
Well, Katie
or Reed.
I thought Johnny is Chelsea, so he would have existed, right? He just wouldn't have been in that family.
He wouldn't have been in that family.
Yeah, but Katie wouldn't have existed and Reed wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, because Claire is older than Reed, so.
Yeah. And she met JT way after Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she cheated.
Right. And I guess that's the purpose of dreams aren't supposed to make sense, I guess. Yeah. She just put a bunch of ideas in her head or whatever.
For people she never met.
Exactly.
And then she made Adam the damn waiter.
Girl.
You don't know this man. So all of your mother's hate and bitterness just happened to genetically smooth its way to you within the matter of a couple of months.
Yeah.
It made him a waiter. Your uncle a waiter? Really?
Yeah.
And you're a whole person who tried to poison your whole family, by the way.
And I mean, then they had Jordan come up in there with that IV.
Exactly. She has no room, none whatsoever, to pass any judgment to anybody within Genoa City, given what she did.
Nope.
And that's why it irks me that she's been given this whole redemption tour, whereas other characters are still struggling, still trying to prove themselves, even though we've seen years of work. I don't understand how in October she had everybody up in the whole house, happily ready to take their lives, and all of a sudden she's in the Newman fold, probably going to get a new job, new car, new everything, and has the gall to think very little of some people, especially her uncle, who had every right to question everything about the girl. Nobody knows this girl.
So
Nobody.
let me ask you, ladies, who had the fastest redemption, Flo or Claire?
Claire, without question, because at least Flo had to give up a kidney before she was
That's true.
forgiven.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Clearly.
that's true. Yeah. She had a quick turnaround with this family.
Flo had to give up an organ and cried, and eventually she got Brooke's approval. She got Brooke's forgiveness. Brooke loves her and was able to
Hmm.
forgive her, give her a job. No qualms from Brooke for that redemption.
Hmm. But she said she made this guy's a waiter because she ratted him out to the police several times. So now he can't even get a decent job except, and no shots to the waiters and waitresses out there. But that's how she set that up for Adam, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this man's Harvard degree and years of experience, he still wanted to be in Genoa City after all of that.
Hmm.
Like, and nowhere in her dream he just decided to live in New York or live wherever and make something happen for himself. She just had to make him a waiter, as if he doesn't have years. I don't understand why she had to do that. There
Well, of
was
course she was gonna put it that way because she's got sour feelings about Adam because of Victoria. So
Right.
she wasn't gonna have him move away and rebuild his life. Of course he was gonna be there serving them and, you know,
Torture.
yeah, almost
Hmm.
like humiliating him, basically.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I look at this as her wanting to be accepted by her family so bad that she's going to have the same thoughts that Victoria have about whoever it is Victoria hates. She's going to hate them too because she
Hmm.
wants to bond with her mom. So I guess that's kind of how I look at the Adam thing. I'm not really surprised that she is stating that kind of opinion of him because that's how Victoria feels.
Yeah. I just hate that because I was hoping that they would connect. You know what I mean? As being that they came from similar situations. You know what I'm saying? Out coming in from the outside, not growing up with the Newmans, and now trying to fit into the family.
Oh,
now.
she was gonna lock that down. There's no way Victoria was gonna let that happen.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
especially Victor and Nikki, because that's, I mean, and what's interesting too is the fact that, because we got to talk about Connor too. Where's his grandparents dealing with him, trying to wrap their arms around him? I know Nick had given him some sympathy, saying, hey, and then we saw Billy come around. But they don't care about nobody but themselves, which when Jordan was going through her soliloquy before she took her toxin, she was telling some truths about some of that stuff with the Newman family.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she did, and she missed not one beat. Um, I feel like there's cliques within the Newman family,
Hmm.
and I feel like I see more of the cliques, and that's really annoying me with them. Like, it's Nick, Victoria, and Nikki in one clique, and then you add on Victor, that's a whole other clique. I feel like, and Abby's completely an outsider. Victor don't even give a damn. I don't think he realized he has a child of her own. He he never mentions Dominic at all. So I feel like Victor and Nikki like to protect who is within that clique, and
Mm.
I think Claire senses that. Um, so I really, I can't be surprised how Adam Media gets treated and how Claire is being treated now. But I'm more so annoyed with the writing, that the fact that they put so many cliques within his family, it doesn't even look like it's a genuine you know, it's not fun to watch sometimes. When you see a character we see put the work in and he's still getting trashed even by someone who did far worse than he did.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like Cheryl Hines said, that Claire slash Eve, because she was calling herself Eve in her dream, don't even know Adam, only what Victoria told him. But there's good things that Adam has done as well. But see, she don't know about that either because Victoria only talk about how horrible her brother is.
Yep.
It makes me wonder if Nick's going to stand up for his brother and be like, you know what? I can vouch for Victoria and say, hey, yeah, he did X, Y, and Z, but I work with my brother every day, and he and I have repaired a relationship, and I have personally seen a change. I would like to see a scene between Nick and Claire in that manner, because I would like for her to form her own opinion. Like, if he did something, if Adam were to do something to her, then, of course, that's warranted. I was really trying to think of what happened between Adam and Victoria to warrant the bitterness, but if anything, give your family members a chance as they're trying to give you a chance.
I think what happened between those two is competition.
You think so?
Yeah, because they was trying to prove who is the better person to run the company, who's smarter, who Victor values most in business. Victoria has always been in competition with Adam. And vice
Why?
versa. Yeah. So, yeah, she thinks that she can run Newman better than anybody. And Nicholas is, like you say, he's always at the temp office, so.
And I feel Adam and Nick have more issues than he and Victoria. Like they were passing back and forth for child, women, everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have issues. Like, I can understand Nick's animosity towards Adam. I understand that. I'll never understand Victoria's animosity toward Adam. I don't get that. How is she able to forgive the things that Billy has done, the things that her father has done, everyone around her, but not Adam, who's never directly came at Victoria for anything? At least as far as I remember. If anyone in the chat said that he did X, Y, and Z to Victoria, please let me know, because I really can't recall anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only major thing that she did was leave him out of that $500 million.
Yeah.
That's that, and he was the main one who got that set up, and she reached out to him to do that, and she left him out. So that's the only thing I can remember as far as what Victoria did to him, but I can't think of anything that Adam did to her to warrant her bitterness to the point where she has to inflict that with her child now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's safe to assume that Jordan is no longer in the land of the living.
They all dodo in the head. I'm sorry.
I mean, we saw her just fall out on the mattress, and then the next episode, Victoria, Claire, and Nikki was like, "Oh, it's been a long night," and they all sitting up, all hovered together for a while until they were able to fall asleep. I'm like, okay, so what happened with Jordan?
That made no sense. So that, first of all, Jordan drank Kool-Aid. She is not going to poison herself. Mm-mm. I don't even believe that she's gone. The fact, what was the point of Claire, Victoria, and Nikki being the same woman that they said they were terrified to be around?
Well, according to Nikki, that was a way to keep her sober. And you know Victor do anything possible when every time she say that. I need to be around Jack. Why? It'll keep me sober. I need to go talk to Seth. Why? It'll keep me sober. I need to go and confront Jordan. Why you need to do that? 'Cause I need this so I can be sober. And so every time she says that, Victor is like, okay, fine, go ahead.
Victor is simping in his old age.
Well, look at what Nicholas said. There's some strong women in this family, because they couldn't stop them from doing what they wanted to do. So, I don't know. But my thing is the transition. What happened? Did Victor and his people do something with Jordan? Did y'all just leave her there thinking that she was gone? What happened?
There's no way Jordan is dead. Not that way.
Well, I mean, and that's fine, but as the fans, they just went from the dungeon to back at the house. So even still, did they take her in cuffs while she was unconscious or stayed there for the cops? There was no like, what happened with Jordan? And then the actual spoiler for today's episode is where Claire is having to deal with the fact that she have to live without Jordan. So are we to assume that she passed away and y'all got rid of the body, or what'd y'all do?
No, because this is a very weak exit for an awesome villain. I don't like this. That's why I don't feel that she's gone. There's no way. There's too much hype around Jordan. Jordan has made nothing but moves throughout Genoa City, and so well, by the way. And I there's no way that they're going to get rid of Carling
Zinc
this quickly. Yeah, there's no way they're going to get rid of this woman that quickly. And on top of that, the fact that these three women just let this woman just sip on some Kool-Aid and take a nap. That's all she did. She took some Kool-Aid and Ambien and she took a nap. That is it.
Well, I mean, and then the other thing is, just say that they did end her, and the way that they because she looked at in Claire's dream, her outfit, makeup, and hair, Colleen Zink was looking good, and I'm like, okay, so are y'all trying to have her go out into the sunset in Claire's dream? It was just a weird, I'm curious to see anybody. I know Keish sometimes run into the spoilers on X. Did you see anything about Jordan next week?
No.
I haven't seen any spoilers for next week.
Yeah, maybe they'll put them out on Friday. I thought maybe they would have put, because I've been looking, I haven't seen them. I was hoping they put them out early because this week ends early, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious. I was hoping that, take her in custody, or they thought that she was gone, and then when they left, she would get up and sneak out or something. We got nothing.
I'm hoping Victor's security guys came and got her, so I know she's on the loose. So I know I get to see more Jordan. Because their security team not gonna do nothing. The police, there's no police. There's one lawyer, but he's wrapped up into what Victor is doing. Jordan is taking a nap somewhere. That's all I think. And we're gonna see more Jordan here to come. Why would they get rid of this woman? No reason for them to get rid of her.
Yeah. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Keish?
No, just agreeing. They're not taking her out in this way. It was too anticlimactic.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when if the spoilers come out for next week. When and if and when the spoilers come out for next week, so we can see what the deal is with her. Jenna said, I think that it's what. Wait a minute. I think that is what Victor took care of. I think the bodyguard told Victor about this, and he took care of it. We'll never know.
I bet that bodyguard messed up, and Victor's gonna find out. And he's gonna fire another one of his security team.
Yeah, because his security team is trash.
Exactly.
For a billionaire, straight trash, but it's his own fault.
He probably assumed that she was no longer living, and he would go get a drink somewhere, go get some coffee, and come back and take care of it. And when he came back, Jordan was gone.
I know. Yep. Could be.
Aditha, I just want to say quick. Aditha Lee, as you said, I wonder if Soap Corner Talk has any spoilers on who the future homeless guy is or will be on B&B. We already know who that is. That's Liam. He ain't got no house. He on his daddy's couch. He's homeless at this point.
You stupid.
He's talking about they casted some guy to play a homeless man on Bold.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I did read about that. That's what the
Liam. Yeah, I'll find out and see what that's all about. I did see a little bit on it, but I'm not to give you any details in particular. I'm not aware of, what that's about as of yet. And then we got one last storyline, the whole thing with Chelsea, Adam, and Connor. I think Chelsea and Adam is going to be at odds because Adam told him, if you don't want to go, you ain't got to go. And Connor told his mama, my dad said, if I don't want to go, and I'm not going.
Oh, Bree, it's your birthday.
Yeah, we did you missed it, girl, because we did a whole birthday thing at the beginning.
Oh, dang it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it's all good. Thank you guys.
Yep. So, what do you think? Do you think that they should just send him anyway, or is Adam right by thinking keeping him close at home?
I think he needs to be close. If Connor's having, if these issues are really this bad, where, I mean, it looks like he's struggling a little bit. I feel better if my child was close to me so we could go to these therapy sessions together, or, you know, even if I had to sit out in the waiting room. But I wouldn't want him a state or 2 states away to do this on his own. Like, that's at that age.
Yeah, Chris, Chelsea was insane for that. There's no way I would want to be away from my son. And like for me personally, I have a son who is autistic, so there's a certain level of care when you have a child who's special needs, regardless of the needs. It's just there's no way for that parent to be without that child. And for Chelsea to sit there and say, I want him to go to this treatment facility that's states away while she is in Genoa City while that happens. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Adam. No, my child is going to be here with me. If Chelsea doesn't want him to live with her, that's fine. That boy can live with Adam. And if he wants to take his son to the treatments that's in Genoa City and be able to watch over and actually take care of his child, I'm all for that. I don't know what the hell Chelsea was talking about.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, or if this place is supposed to be, I don't know, like the best treatment facility in the country, then you move there with him. Don't send him by himself.
Right.
Or hire one of the specialists, because they all rich, to come physically from there to Genoa City.
Yeah, call your daddy. Victor fly in the best specialist in the world to come and work with his grandson.
Yep. Exactly. There's no excuse for what Chelsea is trying to. I think she just wants to be right. Some people just have this need to be right, and she's one of those people, because none of this makes sense. And she's the same person who went through her own issues.
She's struggling with it, right? She's struggling with it herself. I don't know if I could do this. This is my fault, and I understand, because as a parent, when your child is going through something, you wonder, like, dang, what could I have done differently? Or, is it something hereditary? Or, which is what she was talking about. So I get some parts of that. But then she was telling him, stop pulling your jacket and stop doing this. And it took Adam and the doctor to say, listen, that's not him doing it. That's the OCD doing it. So I don't know. Chelsea probably need to get back with her counselor to say, hey, I need to actually have some sessions to help me get through this, because I need to be in a good space for my son.
Yeah. Why was Adam looking extra sexy in that scene? I'm sorry.
Girl, you so...
I'm sorry, but I love that sweater he had on. He just looks so... We always see Adam in a suit.
Right.
So seeing him in that t-shirt and that little cable knit sweater, and the way his hair was styled, I don't know. And Daddy Mo, he was sexy in that.
You know what? I gotta say that they picked the right kid. Judah Mackey looked like he could be related to Mark Grossman.
Yes, that is true.
They picked the right kid to have somebody look like Adam.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I miss the mustache. I'm so mad we only got it for one day with Adam.
Oh, that little light beard he had with
that was sexy as hell.
And then he had his hair. His hair was kind of shaved on the sides a little bit.
Shaved on the side. The hair was trimmed. He looked good.
I think he's trying to grow that beard back though.
Please do, Adam. Mark, if you're listening. Please grow that back. It looked way too
You
good.
know what?
I don't.
Some men look nice in goatees and beards to me. And my son is up for a promotion, so he's meeting with his team tomorrow. And he said, "Mom, I just went." He just called me early. I went and got my hair cut and my beard. You know, I'm thinking like I haven't seen this boy all my life. He's 20. He'll be 24 this year. He got on. I'm like, that's my grown son. He looks so nice because he has a beard and he got it all trimmed and cleaned up and got his hair and it's connected. You know how the guys have their connected to. I'm like, look at my son. So when you see these guys like we saw with Adam, they should have kept that. Bree, I so agree with you. Keish, I agree with you too, because that sweater looks so nice on him. He always dressed in black.
Yeah.
So.
Can we say happy birthday to Vita? She said her birthday was on March 14th.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy belated
Happy belated
birthday.
birthday, Vita.
That was what? Thursday. Last Thursday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All these Pisces up in here.
J Money said, who does Christian look like?
Who?
Christian.
His daddy. His real daddy.
But you know what? Maybe they tried to get him to look more like Sage.
Yeah, I guess they could.
I don't know. He don't look like Adam and Connor. I mean, man, when they were looking for a kid to look like him,
yeah, that was great casting on that.
I mean, the hair color, the facial features, the dark, because Connor looks like he could play a dark side kid. You know, if he played a little villain, I think he tried to play a little bit.
Yeah. Remember, he was bullying Christian for a little bit.
Exactly.
But I would rather Christian be if they ever recast a Christian, I would rather him be the bully because he's the one being raised by Nick.
Yeah, that sounds like a good point.
Because it would be too obvious and too, I don't know. It would be just another thing that they could all blame on Adam.
Wow. Yeah.
If it was Connor.
I agree. Melissa's birthday was March 10th. Happy birthday. That's why I said all y'all Pisces up in here. Okay.
J Money said, didn't Connor push someone down the stairs? I don't remember him pushing anybody down the stairs.
Wait a minute.
That was the stairs.
That was Stitch's son that pushed Abby down the steps, I think.
Yeah. That's
exactly what happened.
Yeah, that was Stitch's son that did that.
I think Connor he locked Christian in a closet or the garage. He did something to Christian. I can't remember what it was.
But he did play like a dark child at that time. You know, like a little villain or whatever. So it was Judah did the perfect role with playing Adam Newman's son. Very much so. Looks, facial features, everything. Yeah. What did y'all think about? I'm going to go back to the Claire's dream. Did you think that the producers did a good job with Cameron Grimes when they tried to do a side-by-side with Cassie and Mariah?
Oh, I didn't see it. So
what you think, Bree?
It was okay. I was just more upset I was more upset at the writing of the episode because I'm like, Cassie wouldn't be there, and there's several other people that they also lost that should be a part of this story as well. But I didn't really think too much of the green screen thing between Mariah and
because I was looking for a hiccup. Maybe she looked in the wrong direction, or because that's got to be hard to do when obviously Cameron Grimes doesn't have a sim.
Unless she AI.
Right. Maybe she's AI. You can do some things with AI. You're absolutely right.
She could be like mirroring her acting scenes, and like there'll be like a green screen, and then I don't know. I feel like that could have been AI. A lot of stuff is used with AI now, so it wouldn't surprise me if the studio did that for her.
Gotcha. Look at all the happy birthdays in the. So,
Nessa.
Nessa has happy birthday March 13th. And Blackpink Me had a birthday. Happy birthday to her, March 2nd. So,
All the Pisces. I'm the last of the Pisces.
yeah, because it switch over on the 22nd, I think it is, right, Brie?
21st.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
I'm always the last day of Pisces.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying my sign too.
You're a Pisces?
No, she
No,
had Cancer.
Oh,
I'm the last day of a Cancer.
Wait a minute, you July 21st, 2nd?
21st.
21st, okay, gotcha.
so we're on the cusp.
Oh, Lord.
So I get to be a mix of Pisces and Aries and all of this. So you never know what you're going to get.
Y'all silly. Yeah, so I think they did a pretty good job because I was trying to see if maybe she didn't look in the right direction or whatever. It almost looked like it was a set of twins up there. I'm wondering if they actually could have played that out. What would that be like if Cassie hadn't have passed and Mariah, the twin sister, showed up to town? But I mean, I thought it was.
They would have been rivals.
Yeah, they're two opposite personalities, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer would never existed.
She was a kid when she passed away, but I would imagine she would have, been the opposite of what Mariah was when she first came on.
Right. Okay, one other question. Do you think that Claire could go dark? Because we saw Jordan warning them. I'm telling you, the girl gonna turn on you. Don't believe this, that, and the third. And I don't know. What do you think? She had a potential to go dark?
I hope so.
I hope so too, actually.
I want her to drive her mother crazy, and then she has to look to Adam for advice on how to handle her child. Or go to Adam for advice on how to terrorize her mother. Either which way, I'm perfectly fine with them turning that girl dark.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting, though. Because she got so knee deep in this family. Because when you saw that dream, Brie, didn't it look like she was trying to fight it? Because she tried to go back to the party, and she struggled at one point because Jordan kept reminding her of her other self. You remember that in that dream? Yeah, so I'm wondering maybe they're trying to set it up where she will be fighting those other demons because she got out of the clinic or the hospital a little bit too fast, only because Victor wanted to get something done. Is she still getting treatment?
No, I'm so pissed off that she was able to skirt away from any punishment. She basically got off scot-free. But I do feel the writers have planted seeds that she is going to turn dark, or she's going to resort to her old ways. I'm wondering this is why they're trying to build her up now, getting welcome into the family after doing what she did, because it feels like they're either writing her for a really big fall, and maybe the family might turn on her. And Adam was right the entire time. I'm thinking maybe they might go that direction, or hell, they might just let her have her redemption and go from there. Yay.
So I guess it's safe to say that the actress that plays Claire, maybe she's going to stick around for a while then.
Yeah, I wondered that.
I wouldn't mind her being a little bit of a troublemaker. Not a troublemaker in the sense where she's trying to take people out, but just a little poking people here and there, doing little annoying things, getting under people's skin, especially if it's Abby.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, Summer don't want to have it, even though her dream, Summer and all of them were taking trips. The real Summer outside of her dream don't want to have anything to do with her. So that's going to be interesting. Nick is having reservations. Adam is having reservations. She might not blend in as easily as this so-called dream of hers looked to her.
Yeah.
when everybody finds out what she did. Because Summer's like, oh no. Mm-mm.
And maybe we haven't seen that yet, have we? Where the information's like about what she did went out to the rest of Genoa City. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see. I'm curious to see what everyone's reaction is going to be. What Abby's reaction is going to be. If Victoria's kids want to even get to know Claire after what she did.
So is that the possibility that maybe her and Adam can connect? Because in her dream, she's hoping for this big happy family, right? But if it comes out about what she did with Jordan back months ago, everybody might not be receptive. Now she might not. She would be considered somewhat of an outcast. Could that now bring her toward Adam to connect?
Um, I would be very surprised, especially since Claire is so wrapped up around her mother right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of curious to know what the fallout is. I think that would kind of help me get a better perception for Claire, because I want to see how everyone reacts to the fact of what she did. Because I want to see Billy's reaction, because Johnny and Katie, that's their sister.
Mm-hmm.
How is he going to feel about their safety? Same with Abby. Like, hey, this is her niece who did these things and could have took out her parents. There's so many layers. And it makes me wonder how long the actress is going to stay on, because doesn't she live in Ireland?
Is she in Ireland?
Ireland, Scotland. I know she's out the country.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether she's going to stick around. How long she's going to stick around?
Yeah. And what direction they're going to go in with Eve and Jordan, for that matter.
I wonder would she want to take her original name back, because Jordan was the one that gave her Claire, right? But Victoria and Cole was the one that named her Eve.
I figured she would stick with Claire because for me personally, it's hard for me to identify with something I'm not used to.
Well, she was in her dream calling herself Eve.
Oh, well, yeah. That girl don't know what she wants. She just happy just to be loved, and good for her, I guess.
Well, that's why she needs to make sure she stick with her counseling, because that's a lot to only be in counseling for like 2 months. And you done had 20-something years of being brainwashed. Now, I gotta say, some of what Jordan was saying about the Newmans were true.
Yes. She ain't missed not one beat.
No, she told Victoria, you can't keep a man. She called Claire a brat, and then called her a stripper alcoholic. So, I mean, and then
where's the lie?
Where's the lie? And the arrogance and the ego of the Newman family, and how y'all destroy people. And I'm sitting up there watching like, well, she ain't lying.
Tori, you can't ever keep a man. I'm just like, like, Jordan, you knew this from way afar. Like, oh my goodness.
Listen, between that line and the line we talked about earlier with Ashley and her alter ego talking about Abby, I'm like, who wrote that? That was
This is great. This is great writing. I agree with that. Highlight that writer.
Yeah. They gave Colleen rocked that in that before she killed over. She rocked that whole soliloquy up in there. I'm like, go ahead, Jordan, because you're right.
And then she drank her Kool-Aid and took an Ambien and went to sleep, because that's all, because she ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. All right. Did we cover everything in those 3 days?
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
How many people in the chat? Can you guys see it on your end?
102 so far.
Okay,
Woo!
cool. That's good for a Wednesday. Okay. All right. So, oh my goodness, I know we got a lot to say about this, but before we do, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so every time something's posted, whether it's a live Whether it's spoilers or recaps, you'll get notified about it. We're on Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads. There's a blog as well, and also on Facebook. Let me see. I'm gonna try to drop the link in the chat. Make sure if you have Facebook, if you do, and you want to come over there and join us, you can join the Facebook group as well now to have some conversation. We've been posting over there. Dewan been posting over there like crazy, and that's cool. Thanks for the contribution, Dewan. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I want to make sure I drop that link in there. So for those who want to join the Facebook group, I just dropped the link in the chat. So you could click it there and it'll take you straight over there. And then you can hit the join button and come over there and have a good time over there with us during the week, during the day, when the episodes are going, stuff like that. Okay? All right. Y'all ready for bold?
Yep.
Okie dokie. So, let me give the summary for bold and then we'll break down these 3 days. All right, so for the week of the 18th, for the bold and the beautiful, Hope astonishes Thomas by rejecting his proposal. Steffi urges him to move on, and Finn suggests Poppy reveal everything. Steffi urges Thomas to think of his sanity and end things with Hope, and then lashes out at her. And then, as Thomas wonders if his sister was right, Steffi accuses Hope of using Thomas like a toy. All right, let's get Bill, Luna, Poppy, and Finn out the way.
Oh, these people. This just paternity court Poppy has gone on my last nerve. Girl, just tell your grown daughter who her daddy is.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, this further proves that Lee was right. I'm on Lee's side now. It further proves that Poppy was up and around, up and down, just for the streets, playing in the traffic light, playing with the fire extinguisher, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that girl was moving when she was younger, it's coming to bite her now. And whatever she did, she is definitely afraid of telling Luna. And it really makes me think, especially after the interaction she had with Finn, and she said the baby was conceived and loved.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think now it's Jack. And I'm hoping the writers, please go ahead and cast Jack, please, so we can continue and get this storyline over with.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because is it possible that she's trying to move him into father figure? Well, she could be lying about the love thing, unless she was like you said, in love with Jack. I don't know. That whole thing is just so convoluted.
That threw it off.
But she said that this isn't the first time she said she was conceived out of love. She said that to Luna like a month or so ago too.
Yeah, that's true too.
Her asking about it. It's frustrating to me how incredibly selfish she's being by refusing to tell Luna. And what I was saying when we were talking earlier this week, and I know it wouldn't have been good for soap or for the show, but I can't help but think logically. If you did not want your daughter to have anything to do with this man, then you should have told her that he is no longer living. Or you should have told her, I had a one-night stand, I didn't get the man's name, and I can't find him. I have no clue.
Basically, that's how she's moving.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead of making it seem as if you know exactly who her father is and you're just refusing to give her that information, she could have easily just said, he's no longer with us, I'm sorry. She could have told her that years ago. We've been fine with it just being me and you. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that Finn said to her when she told him that, well, we didn't need anybody else. It's always just been me and her. And he's like, well, that might be good enough for you, but it's not good enough for her. Like, how do you not understand how selfish that is?
Right.
Black pick me. You said Poppy's baby daddy is a homeless man.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
At this point, the way she moving, he could be.
Right.
Wait, have you seen who they cast?
Yes.
Yeah. Look, he could very well be her daddy for all we know. The way that she's moving, the way the paternity court Poppy is moving, she's moving like she had at least 5 or 6, 7, 10, 30 bodies. Girl. That could be Luna's father.
I mean, I just wish that they would go ahead and kind of, because it's almost like we going in a maze. Because at first we thought it was Bill, and because they pointed directly to Bill. And then we find out that she slept with Bill, but it's not Bill. Then they making it look like it was Fan. Then they making it look like it could be anybody. I mean, it's just like, can we just get some answers? If it's Jack, let it be Jack. Let Lee blow her top. Call it a day. And so Fan learns he got a little sister instead of a cousin. Or daughter.
And I want to actually take it a few steps back. When we first were introduced to Poppy and Luna, Lee was heated for whatever reason. We were always questioning, like, why is she this mad? I'm wondering if that gift shop story that they kept telling, what if that man is Luna's father, the one that she had an affair with? Because she said that was conceived and loved, and a lot of mistresses and side chicks, they love their man. They'll be quiet for as long as they can, and also keep the baby without saying a word. It makes sense to me if that's the reason why Lee was mad, or it could be Jack. But I want them to go right back as the reason why Lee was upset with the two of them, because I think that will all kind of circle around to Luna's paternity. But at this point, the garbage man, Forrester model, anybody could be Luna's daddy at this point.
As dramatic as they're being about this and about her revealing who the father is, I can't imagine that it's whoever it was she had the affair with at the hospital that we don't know, because that it serves nothing for the show and for the viewers, because we don't know. Yeah. It's got to be somebody that we know that's in the family already or something. It's got to be Jack or somebody that we already know, because otherwise it'll just be like a big nothing burger, you know what I mean? Kind of like how when we found out that one of the reasons Lee hates Poppy is because she can have kids.
Girl,
this is what you guys are using? This is what you came up with?
You know what? And see, here's the thing about the Jack situation is that if it is Jack, we ain't seen Jack in almost a year. Well, when he came to visit Sheila. And she was in prison back, in the summer or before the Hope storyline, Hope and Thomas storyline?
Yeah, that was back in, I want to say February or March.
Exactly. So we haven't seen him in a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so why would, what's the big secret if it's Jack? He's nowhere near around. There's no plans to bring him back. They could have just went ahead and blew the whistle on Jack.
They really could have. And on top of it, they turned him back into a lawyer. So how could they loop him back to the medical field where he met Sheila? I don't know.
So apparently he's always been a lawyer, because I went back, because I thought he was a doctor too when he first came onto the show. But apparently he's always been a lawyer. He was a lawyer, I guess, that worked for the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord. I thought he was a whole doctor. I did too. And he went to medical school. That's how I thought there was a whole thing. And then when he brought him back as a lawyer, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought so too. Because I think when they uncovered him and Sheila having an affair, he said that he met her at the hospital. So I think maybe we all assumed that he was a doctor, but he's really been a lawyer this whole time. He never said he.
I don't know. That's one thing about Bold. They're full of loose ends and switching up storylines and all types of stuff. It's hard. You're trying to keep up. But even still, with this whole paternity situation, if Jack is the father, we haven't seen him in a year, it doesn't look like y'all bringing him back, just go ahead and blow the whistle already. Why are you dragging this?
Because Lee is gonna get in her. You know
But
what?
Lee been mad at her since she got here. You know what I'm saying? It's
But she's
like,
trying to
uh-huh.
even Poppy when Lee goes in on her is like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you hate me so much. So it's almost like even though Lee can't stand her, she doesn't want to give Lee any more ammunition to actually hate her. So that I'm guessing that's why she has not told anybody. If it is Jack, that's why she hasn't said anything. In addition to now Finn and Luna are actually brother and sister, so it affects Finn as well.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I just want an answer already.
I
And
got
the
the answer. I got the DNA results right here. It's Casper.
good girl, you silly.
99.8%. I'm looking at the results right here, y'all.
Do
It's
you,
Casper, the friendly ghost.
girl, you silly. Do you think that if they drag this out, which it look like they are, because we didn't get no answers this week, Bill might be the one to help Luna get the answers?
She should have went straight to him. Actually, she has a whole rich boyfriend. Like, help me get a DNA test, please.
How would she even? Where would that even start though? Because you have
Yeah,
somebody to test against,
that's
and
true.
they're not going to assume that Finn could have been, somebody that her mom slept with. So who would they test? Unless Bill and Luna are actually father and daughter, and he tests himself anyway.
Well, don't sometimes when you either work for the military or you're a doctor or something like that, your DNA is in the system. So maybe he would run it, and then some matches will come up. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know if that, because I think is it a blood test or something. That's how like they tell you you're related to certain people through your blood tests and stuff like that. Hey, you're related to so and so. So maybe with 2024 technology, there may be a way to put your DNA up against DNA that's already recorded and say, wait a minute, you match with this person. Well, who is this person? They could
Yeah.
do it like that. I don't know.
Um, so I'm not sure if I should bring this up, but I keep seeing it now as I'm looking through like the news sites. So
Hmm.
they're trying to loop in, and this is speculation. They're trying to loop in and say Thorn is Luna's dad because he used to live out in San Francisco. I guess that's where they were from, Luna and Poppy. And they're saying that it'll be another reason why Lee wants to protect the family because she knows that Forrester connection. And then on top of that, she kept the Forrester child away from them. So that was the part that was kind of making me like, okay, so it really could be anybody. So the writers are making so many loopholes for Poppy's paternity stuff to where it's really open for interpretation at this point. But
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that they can just pull Thorn out the sky and say, hey, you
it's
got a
Thor.
kid.
And they were saying that because Alexandra's not here and he's lost a lot of people that he's loved, and he's the main one who's been without a family.
Mm.
Which would be
Which
nice.
technically she would be RJ's step cousin or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, but
They're not blood related because Ridge and Thorn they have the same. Wait a minute, nope, they would because Ridge and Thorn have the
same
same.
mama.
Well, they got the same mama. Yeah, then that makes them cousins
Oh,
biologically.
Thorn and Ridge.
Yeah, they got the
Yeah,
same mother,
Yeah.
yeah.
and so that would make that would make them blood cousins. So I don't think that's going to be it
And the
because
writers need to get it together.
Well, I mean, they did. They did. Tammy and Jonathan on Guiding Light, they were blood cousins.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that in 2024.
But
I'll go back to my original DNA results. It's Casper.
Girl,
Casper the friendly ghost.
yeah, I mean, now it seemed like we just ruled out Thorn because they would be blood related, unfortunately. And I don't think that'll be a storyline that they want to run right now. Maybe 30
Yeah.
years ago, but not right now. So now that brings us back to a Finnegan.
Yep. And I think it'll be more soapy if Finn was the father. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, Finn and Poppy would be closer and similar to age, just like we said last week. It would be more intense and exciting to watch if it was, but I would be on board if Jack was the father. I'm fine either which way because it gives justification for Lee to be mad. I'm just so sick of people like ragging on my girl Lee. Like, I love Lee. I love her expressions. I really want to see her express when she sees that Poppy's been trying to hide that paternity, and it could be either one of the men in Lee's family, either her son or her ex-husband. I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Only imagine the plates, the silverware, the entire El Jardín will be turned upside down.
Right. I mean, Lee talking about throwing bolognese in Sheila's face. Shoot. She would have to get out of town.
She would have to go to another planet. Because this Lee had no problem go to toe with Sheila. No problem.
Mm-mm.
The amount of stuff that she could do to her own sister.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah, this is gonna be interesting to find out, whether or not who's the father. I mean, like you say, it would be soapier if it's Finn. Jack, they could have dropped that bombshell within the last 5 or 6 months since because Lee been on a rampage with this girl. So I don't know, but I
I
guess.
wonder if maybe they have dragged it out because they're waiting to cast. If it's Jack, they're waiting to cast Jack, and they haven't done that yet.
They could have got the same guy.
He might be available.
That's a shame.
Because he was in that Oppenheimer movie. He might have other projects he's doing, and he don't have time for both anymore.
Oh yeah. Go get your money, sir. Go get your money, sir.
You say, get your money, sir.
Yeah, I think this is a mix of they weren't sure which direction they were going to go with Poppy and Luna when it came to the paternity thing, and maybe now they have, and now they just have to cast somebody. I don't know. Who knows why Bo makes the choices they do.
I know, right? All right. I'm going to break up this next storyline, which is we're going to talk about the proposal. Well, I should say the final proposal. I hope it's the final one, in my opinion. So it left us with a cliffhanger from last Friday where he proposed. We came back on Monday to get Hope's response, and she said no. I'm not ready. But she said she loved him 3 times in 5 minutes. She said she loved him 3 times, and he got mad and walked out. And so we know how Keisha feel about this proposal, right, Keish?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Keish.
I just thought it was stupid for him to do it again because she had already told him twice before that she wasn't ready. So I feel like at this point it needed to be them sitting down and having an actual conversation before he ever proposed again and clarifying, like, just so you know, I'm ready whenever you are. So if this is going to happen, I'm going to need you to tell me when you're ready to make this happen. And for Thomas, if he, for whatever reason, couldn't wait anymore, then he should have told her that. Or he could have told her that and said, you know what, I think I have to take a step back because I want more than what you can give me right now. Instead of, I feel like y'all know that I am not a Hope fan, so defending Hope hurts me to my core. I don't feel like she did anything wrong other than keeping that ring on her necklace. I think when Thomas put that ring on her necklace, she should have told him, like, no, you keep it with you. I don't feel comfortable wearing it in any capacity because I'm not ready yet. As to not give him hope, which is what he ended up explaining to Steffi. She took the ring, even though Steffi said she wasn't wearing it on her hand, Thomas, but she still took it. She could have given it back to me. She told me that she doesn't want this to end, so I thought she was ready, but it's still like, you proposed to her 3 times in 2 months, and every time she told you she was not ready. So he needed to pump the brakes. And if this was too much for him to handle, her not being ready, then take a step back from her and do your own thing. Focus on yourself. And when she's ready to go, then she'll let you know. And if you're still available and you still want to be with her, then so be it. But I don't know, the way that he kind of, like, I won't say he threw a temper tantrum, but he was upset. But I don't understand why he was as upset as he was, because there wasn't really too much that changed between the last time he asked and this time.
Okay. So here's my thought on this: is that she opened Pandora's box last summer.
Yes,
That
she did.
that guy was not chasing after her. He put his feelings on ice. And she keep talking about how I just got out of a marriage. Well, ma'am, you were the one that actually precipitated the whole breakdown of that marriage in 2023. You were fantasizing, you were dreaming, you got the Rome, and you locked lips and did tongue wrestling with Thomas in Rome. So, and you awaken what he has been pretty much wanting for the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
That girl knew exactly that this man wanted some form of forever with her. Now, granted, she did tell him, but if this was too soon out of a marriage to even get into a commitment, you still acting like you in a full-fledged relationship. Y'all blending families, y'all sleeping together, y'all doing all this other stuff, and I could see dating, but she claims she in a whole couple relationship with him. She don't want to put the ink on paper. It's too soon. I just got out of a marriage. Then, you shouldn't have even facilitated that before you got out of your marriage. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And both of them on two different pages. His value system is that he want to be married. Hers is like, I ain't ready for that. I want to do something different. At this point, they don't need to be together. They're not on the same page.
Yeah.
I mean, if she don't want to get married to him, because she said, I don't know if I could give you forever. That should tell you this girl probably won't ever marry you. So he needs to take that, process it, and say, look, you know what? This girl don't want to marry me. I want marriage. And then she needs to process it and say, okay, you know what? I don't want to get married anytime soon, but this man wants to get married. They need to go that way, and that way for right now.
Yeah.
But I told you guys before, he's banned from all jewelry stores. He cannot. He can go to Kay's Jewelers, Zales, Tiffany Co. None of that. He is banned from anytime he gives out a ring to Hope. It needs to come from a cereal box. I feel the worst part about this whole Thope thing is Thope's inability to clearly say no. She says yes. She said yes when she put that ring around her neck. And I was furious when she did that, because that gives off a mixed signal. And I'm glad that Thomas brought that up to Brooke as well. He had every reason to think that he could say that she might say yes, because she's accepted him in every other way except accepting the fact that she could be his future wife. Like, and I was happy that there was some dialogue in regards to, like, hey, me, Douglas, Elizabeth, like we're all a whole family with this man, and I don't want to give him up. Um, but at the same time, at the same token, I hate defending Little House on the Prairie, but let me say this. The girl just did get out of a divorce. She has been dealing with that loaf of bread for years, that she's been chasing for years. And maybe now she's just trying to not be somebody's wife. She's happy just being somebody's girlfriend right now, which is perfectly fine. And just because he's ready for marriage, okay, that's fine. He had opportunity to meet other women and explore those options. He chose to wait for years for Hope. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth. And she has every right to say yes or no. However, don't accept peeing for months and then lead a guy on for months if you had no intention of fully committed to him that particular way. I'm glad there's some gradual pace and they're in a whole relationship. That's fine. But she made a huge mistake ever accepting his ring and putting it around her neck. I feel that killed it for me. That destroyed my feelings for Thope for me.
Wow. I This whole thing, and then the spoilers were tripping because everybody was thinking that she was going to say yes, because some of the spoilers was directed like, oh my god, her decision changes the trajectory of the Logans and the Foresters and blah 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 blah. Okay, she said no. All right, she said that twice in the last 2 months, 3 times now. So I just think, and I'm gonna remove the characters from this. I think they screwed. This is a huge screw up unless they're gonna try to bring them back together. Because this was their bread and butter. I had this conversation with you, Keish.
Mm-hmm.
This is their bread and butter storyline because everything else was trash. The ratings were in the toilet. They know it, and if they're listening, you know it. Thope was keeping them afloat. And, the Eric storyline, people wasn't into it. The RJ Luna Zende, people wasn't feeling it. The whole thing with Sheila, it spiked them a little bit. But then that was just 1 week. And then you come back to Thope. Every time people like, "Ooh, we got Thope today." Everybody's excited. Oh my God. Because I like to watch the comments on the social media, and it's a lot of Thope pages on for Facebook and Instagram. But to take a bread and butter storyline that really had put you back on the map at that time, put you at the highest amount of ratings in probably several months back in July, and the crash and burn at the end of the year. And this is what y'all do? Yeah. So I don't know. Some people are saying, "Oh, in 2 weeks they'll be back together," but then, I mean, it. Hope would technically have to make a U-turn to say, you know what, she would have to change, because she would have to go back on everything she just said.
Or Thomas would.
Or Thomas would, but then that makes him look, because, oh yeah, well, I'll just do it just because I love Hope. That makes him look pathetic. Now he's simping.
I mean, let's be real. He's been doing that.
I know, but it look worse. It'll look worse after this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I honestly think that he need to cut off. Y'all work together. That's gonna be hard. But y'all work together, but you're gonna have to cut off the vitamin D. I'm sorry. As Bree called it, the peen.
Yeah, and that was another thing. I have a petition going. She's not allowed to be awakened anymore. She needs to stay asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Say that.
She cannot stay awake no more. She's not allowed to have an awakening. No, big O, none of that. She's not allowed to be behind any couches. She's not allowed to have any fun. She is permanently going to stay asleep. Since
Yeah.
since that's what works for her, she was quick to commit to Liam any chance that she get,
Right. I mean,
and had
she
a nice
has.
sleeping through her marriage, but she's wide awake and she can't say it took her forever to say I love you, and now she can't say that she wants to be married to him. I'm like, come on, girl.
All right, which moves us to the next storyline: Hurricane Steffi.
Sonya Blade.
Hurricane Steffi is hotter than fish grease right now. And here's my thing. I know that people are saying that she's being a busybody and it's none of her business. Unfortunately, those two are the face of Hope for the Future. And with all that drama going on between their relationship, it will affect the business.
I
Yeah.
I
I
have mixed
mean,
feelings about that.
say that again.
I have mixed feelings about that because there's nothing but contention throughout Forrester Creations. There's plenty of spouses who have broken up and still had to work together for the sake of the business. I don't think it would affect Hope for the Future. I think Zendaya is going to take Thomas's spot, actually. And I would actually love to see Thomas say, like, I'm going to start my own line. I'm going to completely remove myself from all of you.
Girl, Zendaya can't even think straight because he got Luna on the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly because if Thomas gets into this space where he's just not happy, his designing ain't gonna be good. Those two are gonna be walking around on eggshells around each other. I mean,
It's
that's going to be a rough position for those two to be in if Thomas decides, you know what, I'm not going to pursue her anymore, and she still wants him.
well, then it would make more sense if he just started his own line
Exactly,
from that.
which tanks her, and she's out. Because if I mean, the only reason her line is afloat is because of him.
Yep, she had to beg and get that man back.
Exactly.
Well, technically Thomas begged to come back.
But yeah,
Yeah, he might have begged to come back. Even if they didn't, she wouldn't have a line. If they said, nope, he ain't coming back, you got nothing, sweetheart.
That's true.
He's the talent. She's just the face.
yep.
So they, but the other side of this is that she still, I guess she have to respect boundaries because I mean, if they say, look, back off, we got to figure this out. She need to back off. Talk about the business part of it, but the other parts of it, if they say, look, we need to handle this, it's fresh, it's raw, we got wounds going on. Now, do you think she was right telling Thomas to cut Hope off?
No, I don't.
That wasn't her place.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't want no one to tell her to cut herself off from Liam or for Finn.
And she wouldn't listen even if they did.
Exactly.
And she, I mean, I don't remember her. Did she bring up the business?
No,
not yet.
And I'm actually glad that she didn't, because I remember when they first found out about Hope and Thomas, that was one of the things that she said was, basically, you guys work together, like, how are we, if something goes wrong, it's going to mess up business. And I'm like, that shouldn't be the first thing that you think about when it comes to this. Like, it should be your concern for your brother, not for the business. So I'm glad that she didn't mention anything about how it would affect business, even though it's realistic. And that, of course, would be in the back of her mind, but not the first thing that she brings up. But I don't know. I get her frustration with Hope, but I don't think there was anything wrong with what Hope did. Like she said, I want to be with him. I love him. I want to be with him. I'm just not ready for marriage yet.
I guess. Go ahead, Bree.
I'm just going to say, and I don't think that that's wrong. I don't think Steffi really has a reason to be as pissed off as she is at Hope. And part of that I kind of blame on Thomas because of the way that he is relaying the situation to her. And, you know, clearly he's hurt, but still, Hope has been, she's been, in a sense, straightforward with Thomas about her feelings. And Thomas was the one that decided to, time and time again, take a chance and propose to her without making sure that she was ready. That first proposal never should have happened. And after that first proposal, he should have been done. He should not have, not out of anger, been done, but that should have been his sign to I'm gonna back off. I'm not gonna ask you again. And I'm gonna let me know when you're ready. Like, that's what he should have done. And she said it. Hope was like, you know, when he asked before, he told me that he wasn't in a rush and that he understood. And now I don't understand why he feels the need to get engaged. Like, why is he rushing it now?
Because
why does he feel like it needs to be done
because
now?
they moving like it. I mean, it'd be different if they were going on a couple of dates here and there and they're trying to really get to know each other in a relationship that way. But they're moving like a full-fledged couple. The only thing is that she don't, and she put that ring around her neck. So it's kind of like you giving mixed signals. You don't want to be in a committed long-term relationship, but you're acting like you want to be in a long-term committed relationship. You know,
like the first proposal though, like,
well, the first proposal,
saying I don't need this and I don't need that. As long as I have you, there's no rush. We can take our time, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, that day that they got in that argument with Steffi, you're proposing to her out of nowhere. You have a ring. You already had a ring. You're proposing to her out of nowhere after telling your dad that you guys are on the same page. So there's something. They're clearly not on the same page.
But remember, he said they had gotten even closer. So in his mind, like I say, if you're on this stagnant movement where we go on dates every other weekend, or you're getting to slowly know each other, she's saying that she want to take it slow, but she's not moving slow. And how she interacts with this man. And in his head, it's like, dang, okay, we're further along than the first proposal. Maybe it's time. Now, granted, I agree with you, Keish. She should have vocalized, okay, I'll let you know when I'm ready, or whatever. But honestly, at this point, I mean, I don't think, because he wants one thing and she don't want it, and it's just like, well, what do? You continue to give, because the thing is, Hope still wants to go back to normal, where she get to sleep with him. He keep telling her, you the only woman, the one woman man, and all this other emotional fortitude that he keeps giving her. He wants to take it to the next level, and she ain't ready to do that. And that's why she's calling her selfish, because she's like, wait a minute, you want something from him, but that you're not willing to give.
That's Thomas's fault too.
And maybe he needs to take his. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, it's not just Hope. He was being stupid in that regard as well.
She should have left him alone. Back in July, whatever, you were still in a whole marriage. You were still sleeping up under Liam when you were fantasizing about this man. That's why when she was like, I just got out of a marriage, you were still in it when you were thinking about him.
Yet she chose to leave.
So she can miss me with that nonsense.
Yes. Thomas was putting a full work day in, and she was ready to serve Liam papers the next day. She was happy to be out of her sleepless period.
Right. She was the one that dropped the papers in the ring, took the ring off at Thomas' head, and took the ring off her hand and landed in Thomas's bed, up them stairs, drugged that boy up them stairs.
Yep.
So her talking about, I just got out of a marriage. Girl, if you don't go sit down, stop it. Come on. You wasn't moving like that.
I definitely don't disagree with you guys there. I feel like she, in the very beginning of this, gave Thomas all those signs. They slept together that day that she got in that argument with Liam, basically giving Thomas hope at that point. And I think up to the birthday party maybe? Was that when the first time she broke up with him?
Yeah.
She wanted to or try to see if she could get Liam back or something like that. I think at that point is when Thomas should have said when it didn't work out and she came back around. Thomas was the one that was convincing her at that point, give me a chance, give me a chance. And that was when she gave him the friends, the no strings attached option, basically. Like, if you want to do this, these are my terms. There's no strings attached. I'm not in love with you. I don't know if I ever will be in love with you. But if you're willing to accept that, then we can do this. Was it smart? No, not at all, because she knows Thomas was in love with her. But Thomas was the one who was still decided to pursue her anyway, instead of just backing off because he knew that all she wanted was something casual and not anything real. So with the feelings that he had for her, he should have been, in my opinion, smart enough to say to himself, she can't give me what I really want from her, so I'm not going to go there with her until she can. And they both, I'm not putting it all on Thomas. It's 50-50. I feel like she should have been smart enough to, because she knows Thomas isn't going to tell her no, she shouldn't have even made it an option until she was ready. And Thomas should have had more, I guess, self-respect for himself to not just go into this basically just taking whatever, crumbs, if you want to call it, that she's giving him. Because that's what he was doing. He was taking whatever he was able to get from Hope because he's wanted to be with her pretty much his entire adult life. So it's 50-50 accountability. They're both adults. They both should have known better. It was reckless when it comes to making sure that they're making smart choices. When it comes to a romantic relationship, an intimate relationship like they have.
I'm gonna change for myself. I'm gonna change the percentages. I feel it's 25-75. I feel 75 of that is on Hope because she went around. She had no problem doing what she was doing and had no problem defending what she was doing and say like, "Hey, people, stay out of it. I'm happy. I'm free. I'm doing this." But months and months have passed by, and she has given almost every inclination that she wants more with him without saying a word.
She's moving that way. Yep.
So as much as I put Thomas to blame because he shouldn't be chasing a girl for this long and she keeps doing him like this, I put 25% of the blame on for that. But 75%, Hope chose to get out of her marriage. She chose it several times. She chose.
Did she really choose to?
Yes.
Option.
What? She chose to do that.
Liam gave her an option.
No, because
Liam gave her an option when he wasn't hitting the spot correctly, and she was fantasizing about Thomas.
Well, and then the other thing is that during that whole 4-day little tete-a-tete that they were having, she was talking about how much she choose him. I choose you. I know what I want. I want you. And she had them papers in her purse ready to go.
That's what I'm saying. We see she was talking out of both sides of her mouth when it came to that.
Well, that maybe give her 85% then instead of 75.
Up to the birthday party, I did not like anything that Hope did because she was telling Thomas one thing and then she's talking to Liam about, well, if there's any hope for our marriage, and it's like, well, that's not what you told Thomas last night. It's totally different last night. So she did annoy me up to the birthday party point because I felt like she wasn't being completely honest because in my opinion, yes, she had those divorce papers drawn up, but it was almost as if she wanted to see if she still had a chance to make things work with Liam, and that bothered me. But after the birthday party, Thomas is just as much responsible for his feelings and emotions in this as she is, because he made the decision to get involved with her again. He asked, he almost, I won't say begged her, but when she came back to that office after being rejected from Liam, he was in her face saying, "Give me a chance. Give this a chance. Give me another chance. I can make you happy." He ain't have to do all that. He could have sat back and waited for her to decide whether or not she really did want to try something serious with him, or whatever it was. But he went for her.
But she's turned this into something serious now. She said that they're in a whole relationship. She said her, Thomas, Douglas, and Elizabeth are a whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's making every step like a girlfriend would make, like a whole relationship progression would
Exactly.
would be. So she could feel one way in the beginning, but as far as her actions right now, if she didn't want to pursue anything further with Thomas, she had plenty of opportunity to say, "Hey, I don't want to get the kids involved. I don't want it to be more than what it needs to be. Let's keep it this way. I'm going to give you back your ring. I'm going to, we'll see each other for a certain period of time, but just so you're clear that we are not going to move forward in that way." But no, she wanted to be in a whole relationship. And kind of like Steffi was saying, it's like, you love the attention. She loved the attention.
Absolutely.
She loved being loved and doted on by that one man who said he only wants her.
I mean, she went so far throwing up in Liam's face how she was willing to have this man's baby. I mean, come on now. You can't, you moving talking about, I don't want a commitment, but you gonna get this man a baby? You moving like you're in a relationship, bringing the kids together as a family? Come on. I mean, is you saying one thing out of your mouth, but your actions. That's why everybody in the comment sections over the past several months, oh yeah, Hope loves him. You can tell. Look how she moving. I don't know what she afraid of, because she acting some other kind of way. So, I mean, she giving off mixed messages. You can't sit up there and say, well, it was too soon and I just got out of, when your whole actions on how this started within your marriage. You did. It wasn't like Liam ran out on her back in March of last year. I mean, she could have turned Thomas down just like she did in November of 2022 when that dude reached over to kiss her and she was like, nope. I'm married. I gotta go. She know what to do to reject. She rejected him for 12 years, so she know how to reject that man.
On top of that, all of the little torpedoes and cannons that were thrown Soap's way, like with the Emma thing, and what was the other thing that came up?
Oh, yeah.
Even after all of that, they brought this up so they can, so the writers brought that up so they can kind of put that to rest, so they can actually have a real relationship. After all of that, she still wants to say no to this man. So you can defend him all the way up until what point before you can say yes? But we're quick to ever say yes to Liam whenever he proposed. I do not get that. What makes Liam more marriage material versus Thomas? Yeah. See, exactly. We're stuck on this.
Thomas is allowing it though.
Yeah, we're saying, I mean, we're not absolving him of any accountability, but she got the lion's share of it. That's what because she's the initiator. That man was minding his own business.
She absolutely initiated this whole thing. I do agree with that. This started because she finally acted on her fantasies. But I still feel like Thomas knew what he wanted from her, and when she told him the first time that she wasn't ready, then that should have been when Thomas said, well, I need to take a step back. But he didn't do that because I think he thought that he could convince her otherwise with the second proposal and with the third proposal.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Listen, this is just soap conversation. We don't want to make this personal. Okay? All right, we're just having soap conversation. So let's not go there. All right, go ahead, y'all.
Did I miss something? Did I say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was saying, I feel like after the first proposal, when Thomas apparently thought that they were on the same page, because again he had that ring in his pocket. I feel like after that first proposal, because she wasn't able to give him what he wanted, then that should have been the time that he should have said, you know what, I think I need to take a step back from this because I really want to be in this committed relationship with you. I want to be married to you, and you're not there yet. And I don't think I can continue with a casual relationship with the feelings I had. That's when I feel like he should have, when he realized that she wasn't ready, that's when I feel like he should have taken himself out of the picture, out of the relationship, and put some distance between them when it comes to the intimacy. But he's hard-headed because he wants her so bad. He's so hard-headed about it. And he's allowed her to just have whatever she wants since July.
Well, we'll see whether or not he cut her off next week. I hope he do. Give her a break.
I do too, honestly. I hope he does tell her, we need to take a step back. I need to gather my thoughts. I need to focus on myself and Douglas right now. And I hope he does do that, because I do feel like at some point they need to show how much Hope is willing to give for him, because she hasn't done that yet. It's really been Thomas doing all the giving and showering her with the I love yous and how she's the only woman for him and giving her all this adoration. Not that she hasn't given Thomas any of that at all, but it's mainly coming from him. So I do want to see her realize that, she doesn't want a life without him and do what she needs to do to get him back. Because we've never seen her fight for... Hope has never really had to fight for a man. Not even Liam, honestly. Because every time there was smoke in that triangle, when Liam and Steffi were together, Liam always ended up back with Hope. They always made sure Liam went back with Hope. The moment she came back on canvas, that's what happened. She's never truly had to fight to convince a man to be with her. She's always been handed men in a sense.
Courtesy of her mother.
You said courtesy of her mom. What did y'all think about the interaction between Thomas and Brooke?
That was so fake. I can't wait till we get to the flip.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did she bring her tail into that office? She should have just turned and leave. This woman was fake this entire time. She did not give a damn about how this man felt. She was trying to fight so hard not to smile and not to beam, because you can see it in her eyes, that she's extra happy. She's like, oh, you okay, Thomas? Well, my daughter, she's hurt too. She's hurt out of all of this too, Thomas. It's all your fault. I won't allow this. I'm kidding. But,
Can I read this comment real quick? KH said she knows she doesn't have to marry Thomas for him to commit to her. She had to marry Liam for him to not stray.
Ooh, wait, that's KH, isn't it?
Yeah.
KH with the facts. Oh my goodness. I haven't gotten to Liam yet, but that straight facts.
I mean, that didn't totally work either the last time.
Because I
And
mean, there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that even Finn don't know about.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness. And then you got Miss Righteous just ready to kick the doors in and say, "You're back to being a Logan again," and all. I'm like, Stephy,
I
you're a whole hypocrite.
I
Mm.
to- I totally enjoyed that exchange because it brought we haven't seen, I feel like, the that kind of arguing and cattiness in a long time, and it brought me back to the Brooke and Stephanie days, or even
Mm-hmm.
Brooke and Taylor in a sense.
Mm-mm.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the exchange. It was I felt like classic soap drama.
I
Mm-hmm.
would have rather Steffi go after. Well, actually, I'm hoping next week we can see like interaction between Steffi and Brooke. Because
Mm-hmm.
if Steffi is mad, I want all the Logans to feel that.
Hey,
I'm curious to see
listen.
what.
Did it feel like? Did it seem like Brooke was upset that Steffi told Thomas to break up with Hope?
She did. Yeah, because she was like, "Wait a minute, Steffi told you to leave my daughter," and I'm like, "You
Right.
telling your daughter to leave Thomas for how many months now?"
Exactly.
Correct. So what's the difference?
It
Exactly.
was almost as if she was offended because
She
Thomas
didn't
is
get
considering
her.
breaking up with her daughter, and it's not the other way around.
Right.
But Bell ain't slick. I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get people that love Thomas um, to start having nice things to say about Brooke because she was gentle with Thomas. She was much gentler with Thomas than Steffi was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her. I don't care what they have Brooke do. You will not ever, ever, ever get me to like that woman. I don't care if she would have given Thomas a hug. I would not
Mm-hmm.
have changed my opinion of her.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
Keish, you don't like Brooke, but you love Steffi.
I sure do.
I'm curious what the difference is.
Listen, Keish
Because
is the president of the Steffi fan club.
I know that's why I went directly to the president.
The
How do you
the
how do you
the difference for me is one. Taylor was my initial favorite on this show. Steffi and Thomas are Taylor's kids, so I just kind of gravitated towards them once they
Mm-hmm.
were up. But also, when does Brooke never has never lost anything. Her and her kids always seem to get what they want, and that's originally why I also gravitated towards Steffi and Thomas because they were always putting it in the early days when like Jackie was first cast and when Drew Tyler Bell was cast. Ridge treated them like crap.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
He
I
treated them
just
like crap. And then when, even when Adam Gregory was cast, and they started working at Forrester, still treated them like crap. And I remember when Kim Matula was finally cast as Hope, I remember her just being the biggest brat ever. And I remember the conversation she had with Steffi, and she said something like, um, you just hate me because my our dad chose my mom and our family over your family.
yeah, I
From
hate
that
that.
moment, from that moment, I had a thorough dislike for Hope. I already didn't like her mom, but seeing that entitled attitude that she took and saying something like that, I had no love for that character after that. And it doesn't have to do with her being Brooke's kid because I actually like Bridget. And I like Rick, even though Rick can be a jerk. He's entertaining and he's fun. Um, they just had her be completely like just insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
I've just never been able to shake that. Not even when she got recast. So I'm a fan of Steffi, and I've never been a fan of Brooke. It doesn't have anything to do with Brooke sleeping around. Like, that's par for the course when it comes to soap characters. I didn't care about that. It was just the entitlement, the snottiness towards Taylor and towards her kids, even when they were little. and the self-righteousness that she had that carried on up to her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke wasn't like that, or not Brooke. Bridget wasn't like that.
No, Bridget wasn't like that. Well, Rick was very much like his mom. But I feel with Brooke, I didn't like the fact that she would attack her family in the most heinous ways. Just the things that she did to her own daughters is unconscionable. Mm-hmm. And whenever she comes down on like Thomas or like anyone else on the Forrester side saying like, hey, you need to act right, you need to do this right, I'm like, where's your resume? Please tell me you did right.
She conveniently forgets about her trash.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she does. And she's able to do that because nobody else holds her accountable. Eric, even when she got pregnant with Hope after sleeping with Deacon, I think Eric was mad at her for like a couple of episodes. And then suddenly she was, well, we have to protect you from Deacon. He can't know about Hope. He can't know you're pregnant. And it went into protection mode for Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has never truly suffered any consequences for anything that she's done. And that's what has always frustrated me about her character.
I get you. I got you.
I got one. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I was going to say, I got you.
I got one other question. What did you think about the dress that Thomas designed for her? I thought that the dress probably should have been a darker color.
Right.
I do agree with that. I liked the design of the dress, but I think on her, I also would have liked a darker color because I think she looks good in like dark greens and blues.
Mm-hmm.
Black. I like her in black. But I feel like the gold against her skin tone plus with her blonde hair, I almost feel like it kind of washed her out a little bit.
Yeah. I was wondering about that because I'm like, it's a pretty dress. If it was a different color, red, blue, like you say, even black would have stood out.
Yeah.
You know.
It looked nice on her body. Like she's got the shape for it and everything. It was just, I just wanted it to be a different color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if it was in black, I think it would hit a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But it fit her curves, right? And I forgot that Thomas made the dress for her too.
Damn. Right, he did. And set up that whole studio with the Hope for the Future logo in the background.
Hope don't have any hope for her future. Well, we're playing.
Listen, you heard what I said in the group chat yesterday. I'm like, where's Petra?
Right.
Petra would love to wear that ring. She was like, you gonna make me a dress? Let's go.
At this point, I don't even want them. It's too late for them to do any additional female for Thomas because it's not going to be believable. We know it's just going to be a placeholder. A placeholder for when him and Hope get back together. So, like with Steffi, for instance, sometimes we don't know whether or not she is going to lean towards Liam because they actually have he's a character, like they're both characters on the show. Finn and Liam are. We know Petra is she just comes and pops in whenever. She's not an actual character. So even if they did that, it would feel empty. It wouldn't feel.
No, I just want Hope seething. That's all.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Because she'll realize that dang, somebody else is getting that, not me.
That's also the kind of the downfall of the writing too, because we've never seen, kind of like what Keish was saying about Brooke, we've never really seen Hope have to really worry about trying to get a man's attention, except for when it was with Liam and going back and forth between Hurley and Steffi. Mm-hmm. I don't think Hope would be jealous if there was a model. I don't think she would be jealous if there was like a random hookup that he would have. But I wish there was like some story building or like they introduced a character. Let's say Flo was back.
No,
Let's
what
say
about bring Caroline back from the dead? If you can bring Adam back from the dead 4 times, bring Caroline. I went to a
exactly.
special hospital because her and Thomas was what, married, weren't they?
No,
No,
No, they
they never.
didn't get married.
no.
Okay.
And then he was. I think he and Caroline, I feel like, ended on not the best terms in relationship because of that whole lie that Bill did or she did.
No, they went. They lived in New York together, and
They
that's how they
did.
wrote. And they wrote both the characters off, and then they had to write Matt back in, saying that Caroline had passed. So they were in good state. They were in a whole relationship when she passed.
No, they were, but they broke up. They broke up because Caroline made a lie about being sick.
Yeah.
Before she passed away.
Right.
Remember,
But
lie. I think Bill helped her lie about that. I think even Liam and Steffy knew about it, if I remember correctly. So he was pissed at Caroline. Not pissed like that, but like their whatever relationship they had long been over when she passed away. And he was just in New York because that's where Douglas was.
Right. I got you. And we need characters like Caroline or like somebody who we're familiar with who can we can kind of warm up to the idea with being with Thomas outside of it being just Hope. And I hate that the writers just box him in with this girl. And it's unfortunate that he's related to people as well on the show. So he can't, he don't really have many options. So they boxed him in to be with this one girl, and I hate that so much.
Yeah, they did write Thomas in a corner when it came to love interest because even if next year they cast a woman in their age group who's going to be a permanent character and they build a friendship there that in 3 years or something, however long they let folks stay together, when they break up, they're still not going to believe that Thomas truly loves this person more than he loves, or even at the same level as Hope, because they have had him go so hard for her in the last 5 years. Even if, like, I know that this has been going on since 2011 with the OG actors, but even if they had bought Matt back, because we had that break when Pearson Fody was playing Thomas, and he didn't interact with Hope. Hope was not cast when he was playing Thomas. So even if they had brought Matt back and they didn't make him to where he was obsessed with her, not saying to ignore, their history, that spark still could have been there, but they could have played it normal and still had him and Zoe like have something real, somebody that was already on the show. Then it would have been more believable for that he would be in a successful relationship with another woman. But because they've had him so wrapped up in only Hope and her being the only woman for him, they will never be able to put the Thomas character with any other woman.
I mean,
and have it play out like believable. Because I will never believe that he's going to love any other character they bring on this show, that he's going to love them in the same way that he loves Hope.
I mean, I guess they could probably rewrite this just like they rewrite and change everything. I don't know. I just hate that this is how they're doing the Thope storyline. It just sucks.
I have a weird theory. I just thought about this because I know we'll get to the Liam stuff in a second, but I found it really interesting how much Carter was talking up Liam about Thomas.
Yeah, go ahead and jump into the Liam section because I mean we're at 2 hours and 15, and I want to be I want to be mindful about everybody in midweek. So go ahead.
Absolutely. So while Liam was funking up the other side of the table where Carter was at, I found it really interesting that Carter was being very supportive in regards to Thomas. Because I read something about Heather, Tom, and Matt Atkinson. that they could put Katie and Thomas into a
What?
hookup situation. Yes.
Katie and Thomas.
Katie and
Right.
Thomas.
And I was wondering, is that why they looped Carter into this, defending Thomas so that later he'll be trashing him? I don't know. But anywho, so Liam, he doesn't go to work. He literally goes from his daddy's couch to El Giardino. He is Garfield for real. But what was the whole purpose of Liam this week? What? To funk up somebody's air. He wastes his gas, puts $20 in his gas tank because he ain't going to work, to go to El Giardino, and then he stops by Forrester to visit nobody. He loved bringing up Kelly, and Kelly never there wherever the other parent is at. And then he has to meet with Carter to talk about Thomas and say he's upset that Steffi is concerned about her brother. Mm-hmm. This was absolutely unnecessary stupidity coming from Liam.
Yeah, they could have wrote him something. I know Scott Clifton needed to pay some bills, but they could have gave him something else to talk about if they were going to use him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about that scene with him and Steffi. Because that was on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Forrester.
Yeah.
Initially, when he walked in, Steffi looked like she was bothered. And then he started talking about Finn and Sheila and his reaction to Sheila. And she quickly shut him down, which I liked.
Right.
But I liked that she chose to bring up
Thomas,
her brother, to the man that hates her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Mad. There is no reason for you to be talking to Liam about your brother because you know he hates him.
Right.
Right. I didn't understand that part either. And I'm like, Liam, how are you going to continue to trash her brother? And this is the woman that you say that you want, and think that she can be okay with it.
She allows it. She every once in a while she will defend Thomas to him. She'll do it here and there, but I feel like more often than not they show her just listening to Liam talk crap about her brother, and she doesn't really, and she won't say anything. She'll just kind of roll her eyes, but she'll let him talk.
Yeah.
Girl, shut him down.
Right. Exactly.
You should not be comfortable talking about your brother like that.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see Carter this week, him and his beard.
It sure was.
I don't know them two, meaning Liam and Carter, I don't think this is probably the first time we ever seen them in the same space.
Right.
So they that's why I said if they were going to put Scott into Liam character sometime this week, I get the part, like Keish said, it was enough to irritate the fans of him talking about Thomas. But that whole interaction over at Il Giardino, where they trying to persuade that Thomas is changed, it's like, really? Out of all the people, you put Carter in the space with him.
Yeah, his dad's best friend.
Right.
And then you're not going to go back and tell Ridge what I said, are you? I know that's your best. Like, why are you calling this man's best friend to lunch so you can basically crap on his son?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what else is Liam going to do? He's not at work. And you know that Finn is out saving lives, so he's not at the hospital. Liam, what is the purpose of what is Liam doing with his life besides being on his daddy's couch?
And Bree, he admitted to it because he came into the office and said, I would usually say I'm coming by for something for Kelly, but I'm actually here to talk about this. And it's like,
I died when he said that. I was like, well, I guess, like you said, at least he admits it this time.
Right. Because usually he's like, I got to bring a toy or somebody left something at the house. And he was like, well, I can't use that excuse today.
For real. Because Kelly ain't with you or the mom. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just here being annoying when I'm supposed to be working.
Right. The one thing that did bother me about his conversation with Carter was, even though Carter was defending Thomas for the most part, I hated when he reverted back to, I've seen the changes in Thomas, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, but I understand where you're coming from. You know, if Hope hurts him, then he could go back to his old ways, or it was almost like, excuse me, he backtracked after he defended him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to say that to Liam of all people.
Right.
Even if you feel that way, you don't need to tell Liam that.
KH, I agree with you. Maybe Liam works at El Jardino now because
maybe he took Sheila's job.
He didn't tasted the whole menu at this point. We didn't seen him for the past few weeks. He didn't ate with Bill, with the Bridge, with all these other people. He never in the office. He's never wearing a suit anymore. I noticed that. So we know he's not working. So maybe his daddy got tired of him and fired him and said, "Hey, you already sleeping on my couch. What more do you want me to do?"
That's funny.
Oh man.
Oh man. Okay.
How funny was it though when Carter reminded him that Steffi was married, because he started going on and on about how, you know, you don't want Steffi as an enemy, and she walks into a room and commands attention, blah blah blah. She's amazing, and Carter was like, and she's also very married.
Yeah, somebody bring Liam back to earth. Come on back down here. The girl is married.
Steffi being married was never a factor for Liam.
Oh, of course, but I still like that Carter said it.
I love that. Because it's like, Liam don't care. He will gladly have a baby with her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he almost did. I'm sorry, he almost did that.
Well, she wasn't married at the time, to be fair. She was just dating.
Mm.
She wasn't even. He was married, however.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Did we cover everything?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we highlighted Thomas and we trashed him. That sounds about right.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and get to this last couple segments, and then we're going to shut it down so everybody can, get ready to have a good night. All right, so this is where we do our flip the script segment, which is if there's a particular scene or storyline we wish we could change, this is where we flip the script. And so what do you got for Y and R?
For Y and R, I honestly wish Jordan had just bamboozled them and found a way to sneak out the window, because there was no security, no nothing. I wanted her to knock all three of them out and then kept it pushing and then meet up with Sheila. Terrorize Sheila.
I don't know. I think Jordan would even scare Sheila.
You think Jordan would scare Sheila?
Jordan she is nuts.
Yeah, she is. That's why I don't know if you guys see, I put in my stories who did it better. That the poll actually showed it was Sheila. So yeah, let me go back and look and see what it is now. Yeah, 91% say Sheila, 9% say Jordan.
Wait, where did you put that at?
In my Instagram story.
I remember. Yeah, I see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, she needs to be, alive so she can get her resume up. She got time. She got plenty of time to terrorize Genoa City.
What you got for your flip, Keish?
Jordan, or not Jordan, Jesus. Claire's dream did not actually happen, but they did actually do the little family dinner, like in real life.
In real life, okay. Gotcha. Okay. My flip would have been something interesting because they brought up in that same dream between Abby and Summer about them sleeping with the same man. They should have had Matt Atkinson appear out of nowhere and say, "Hey."
I would have loved that.
Matt Atkinson could have said, "Yeah, hey, I'm here, ladies." Because, at the time, Austin, which both Abby and Summer slept with, was Matt Atkinson. Yep. I wonder, would y'all want to have him on Y&R?
No, I love him as Thomas.
Okay.
Not to say that I don't love him in Y&R. He can play any role, but I love him as Thomas.
Yeah, bring him over for Audra, like I've said before.
He wants a happy, meaningful relationship. He can go to a hotel anytime.
Oh, stop. You trying to bust my bubble, Bree. Nah, but, okay, so what's your flip for bold?
Oh goodness. For bold,
Mm-hmm.
Liam, take his ass to work.
What you got, Keish?
I'd say I wish Steffi had, when Thomas was telling her what happened about getting rejected, instead of her going on her "I told you so" parade, I wish that she just would have grabbed Thomas and gave him a hug. Like, I get frustrated. Yes, you did tell Thomas he needs to be careful and, whatever else, but that wasn't the moment to say "I told you so" and to basically lecture him about choosing to be in a relationship with Hope. He needed a hug, and she should have just given him a hug.
Gotcha. Well, I would have had Thomas when before he walked up out of there, said, you know what, then maybe we need to take a step back right now. Since I want a commitment and you don't, then we need to put a little bit of distance between us, and we need to go and process all of this, because I don't want to keep going deeper down this whole rabbit hole with you when you're never, probably, because she already said, I don't know if I can give you that forever. So that term right there should tell him, I don't know. So yeah, I would have, instead of him running out of there, I
Snatched
think.
the ring out of her hand on the way.
Say it again?
Snatched the ring out of her hand on his way out.
You so silly. Listen, whatever makes it soapy and dramatic, be like, you know what, we're done. Until we both figure out exactly being on the same page or not, it's not going to work. Because she was mad. She was trying to stop him. Well, she was sad. She was trying to stop him from leaving. And then her comment to Steffi was pretty much like, oh, if I can get him back, I can get him back. If I want him, I can get him back. Because Steffi had told her, of course, that he's done with her. She was like, yeah, right. So she figured she got that man wrapped around around her little finger.
He need to get all his rings back.
Girl, shoot.
All 40 of the rings he gave her, he needs to get back.
And send that dress to the Goodwill.
Not the Goodwill.
Send the dress to the Goodwill. No, we're going to send it to the Good. We're going to send it to the Goodwill outlet. So, yeah, so that would have been my flip. All right, who's taking some seats? Young and the Restless.
Victoria can take a seat, and Claire's whole dream can take a seat. How dare you make my man a whole waiter, and he has a whole Harvard business degree, and you don't even know this man. She doesn't even know the people in that town in her dream. Mm-hmm. None of them. She's only met a handful of people.
I agree. Mm-hmm. What you got, Bree? I mean, Keish.
I'd say, what is her name?
Who?
Just slipped my mind. Oh, Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
She could take a seat for not wanting to bring Connor back to Genoa City with them.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that one.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually going to say that too, Keish.
Yeah. She tripping.
Yes, she is. Send that boy all the way off, and he's like, I don't want to go. Please. I want to stay here.
I could never do that.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, even if, keep them close. If there's a treatment center, find something local. Or like you say with Victor always want to fly somebody in for some treatment. He could bring somebody for his grandson.
They got all this money, don't know how to use it at all. They can call in specialists from any and everywhere. Or actually, Chelsea needs to take her behind over to where her son is at, since she wants him to go to that school so badly.
Right. And then, I mean, I guess Keish took my Chelsea flip. So if I had to flip something else, you said Claire and her whole dream. I just didn't like how she's treating Adam. I mean, that whole thing is a mess. How so those were two good ones, Chelsea and what you call his dream, Claire's dream. So, all right, what's the flip for bold?
For bold, without the gate, the fact that when Brooke walked into the office and she saw Thomas, she needed to keep herself walking. Don't talk to that man. Don't speak to that man. Just let it be, because it was fake to begin with.
Yeah, he even told her, I'm busy right now. He didn't want to talk to her. She kept talking.
They're trying so hard to try to make her likable. It ain't happening. Nope. See that.
Nope.
Went into the office gloating everything.
As my kids say, it's all cap. That girl is faking. Go ahead, Keish. Did you get your bold flip in?
Yeah, I thought we did our bold flip.
I mean,
is it not
take a seat. Yeah.
Poppy can take a seat for being stuck telling Luna about her dad. Steffi, I have to put my girl in the seat. As entertaining as that argument was with Hope, she was doing too much. She was definitely bringing Stephanie Senior energy today. And I also love Thomas, but he got to take a little bit of a seat too, because he should have saw this coming.
So the Foresters,
pretty much. Her little fast. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry. Brooke was also. I agree, Bree. She can also have a seat because she don't care about Thomas. She's just being nosy.
Yeah, Poppy needs to take a seat. Again, for being selfish and telling Finn, we're fine, just the two of us. And Finn like, well, she ain't. So, Poppy need to take a seat.
You know what's even more selfish about that is you can tell your daughter about her father, but instead you want to enlist somebody else to be her father figure.
Right.
Tell about her father. So you want to put that burden on Finn. Not that he probably looks at it as a burden because that's his family, but still, like.
I feel like the only thing that would force Poppy to say something is, and God forbid, if there's a medical issue that requires a biological father to try to save her or something. I feel that it's going to have to come to that point before Poppy would ever just be honest and take accountability for her actions.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. And who's our star of the week?
Ashley.
That's a good pick. I like
hey, bro.
Ashley and her personalities. Beautiful work by Eileen Davidson this week. But that Suzanne, that personality, I love her.
Who's your star of the week, Keish?
I gotta go Ashley on. Wait, are we doing one for each show?
Yes.
Okay. I also go with Ashley on Y&R this week.
I'm going to give it to Colleen. I'm going to give it to Jordan because she told them Newmans about themselves, which was about 95% true. Good old Jordan. Hopefully she ain't gone after drinking, what you say, her Kool-Aid and some Allegra? What you say?
She had Kool-Aid. She took Kool-Aid and an Ambien.
And the Ambien.
just so they can think that she really is really gone. That was she gonna wake up nicely refreshed, ready to attack General City another day.
Hmm. All right, and what about Bold?
The star of the week, I'm gonna give it to Annika this week. I think she's had, even through the as much as we all rag on Hope, the actress is killing it. And that's why I'm really keeping my fingers crossed and hope that she gets nominated for the Emmys this year. But star of the week for sure.
What about you, Bree? I mean, Keish.
Excuse me, I agree with Bree. I just that one scene in right when Thomas walked out, just that one little part when he walked out of the showroom and she like I don't know, like she cried even harder and she like balled up her fist. Like that little part right there, just so it felt very like she just did that on the moment at the moment, like on the spot. Something she rehearsed. Like I don't know, her acting in that scene was amazing, and that little part was just it just felt like something she did. It didn't feel like it was rehearsed or anything like that. So I agree. She did amazing this week.
I'm going to give it to Steffi for a line that she said when Hope told her, "You always in everybody's business." She said, "Yep, that's what I do."
You know what? I'm so glad that you brought that up.
That was too funny.
It was also factual because this is Steffi's any chance that she gets, she loved being in everybody's business until she gets punched, slapped, or something. Which I guess next week she got it coming to her. She always in somebody's business.
Well, somebody said that there's a preview where Hope tries to slap her, but she grabs her arm.
Yeah, I saw that. She tried to slap her, and Steffi grabbed her arm before it made it to her face.
Why
okay,
you
Sonya Blade?
Yeah, why are you slapping people? I mean, okay, you mad that she told her brother to stop talking to you. Okay, you gotta slap her? I mean,
Steffi ain't no punk though. We didn't see her punch Sheila a couple times. She smacked.
That is true. Could you imagine if Steffi punched Hope?
Yeah, she kind of owe her a lick because Hope slapped her back in the day and she didn't hit her back.
Now you know Brooke is not going to allow that.
Oh Lord, here we go with not allowing something.
you dang on well Hope was or Steffi will slap Brooke too.
And then you know a slap's going to come Steffi's way. You already know.
Brooke don't slap back for some reason. She sure didn't slap Quinn back.
Oh man.
She was on the floor. She couldn't pick her face up.
Yeah, I mean, Quinn slapped the fire out of her.
That was probably my most favorite slap.
I'm going to look that up as soon as we get off of here, too, because she's like, if you think Stephanie can slap, oh my goodness, that was great acting. Where is Rena Sulfur at?
Oh man, I miss Rena Sulfur.
I heard that her character, I guess, what was she on GH? Whatever show that she to, I heard that her character got written off already or something.
Dang.
I don't know for sure. I just saw people post about it online.
Oh wow.
So I'll have to look it up. I'm like, please bring her back.
Right.
For real.
And then the pickle of the week. Sour. This is I'm gonna give it to Liam for Bold.
Well, he is the sour puss of B&B. He always sour about something. And I will also give the pickle to Victoria as well on YNR.
What'd she do this week?
She's there. And
Dang.
and the fact that her bitterness has spilled over to her daughter. So yeah, I blame Victoria. She pickled this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I give it to Claire for that dream?
Yeah.
That ridiculous dream that nobody needed.
Right.
At least not right now, anyway.
Oh, there's J Money just dropped in the chat that Quinn slapped Brooke.
Thank you so much. It's a great birthday gift because I will be watching it a few times.
It's like body out of her.
uh, okay, we finally finished it off. Even though we had a lot of content, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes for 3 days of both soaps.
Yeah, that's like the normal time of our Friday
Right.
night one.
Exactly. I didn't know whether it was going to be shorter
About
or.
something.
Go ahead.
I was just saying we talk way too much about something. I don't know what, but for 3 days.
What do we talk a lot about? I mean, we did talk a lot about Hope and Thomas and all them.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Because
Mm.
we spent an hour on YNR because I remember looking at the clock when you switched topics.
What
It was
did?
it was about 45 minutes to an
Yeah,
hour.
I'm trying to remember. I guess did we? What did we talk a lot about? I don't remember. Girl, listen.
I felt it was even on for
On
both
both
shows.
sides. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we made it through, and we got 4 days before our soaps are back on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep. I'm okay with basketball though, but I know
I
that's
already know
not
what
the
I'm
case with
watching.
everybody.
I'm watching season 6 of Bold and the Beautiful, and I can't wait. I've been going through like 200 episodes. It seems like every single week now. So I'm already on season 6. So that's what I'll be doing
Mm-hmm.
during the March Madness.
I
Okay.
have been binging Bridgerton because I've never watched that series before. So that's what a lot of people. I compare one of the couples on there to Hope and Thomas. I think.
Oh yeah.
Seen online.
Ooh. I need to check
Okay.
that out then.
Okay. Have to check it out. All right. Dewan said he gonna be playing video games, so.
Oh, so you get to play with Sonya Blade too? It's not just B&B.
Y'all so crazy. All right, you guys, have a good week. Stay tuned for the spoilers. I'm hoping that they release them out within the next 2 days and we don't have to wait till Saturday or Friday night. So, I mean, we did get a Friday preview for The Young and the Restless. Well, a Wednesday preview of next week. For The Young and the Restless, it looked like Heather's job might be on the line.
Good.
Who said that? Was that Keish?
Y'all know I'm petty about that.
Yeah, because she was like, I don't know, I gotta figure it out. I might fire you. And then what else is happening next week? Y'all remember the other two storylines?
That it's supposed to intensify between Hope and Steffi and
Hope and Steffi. No, I'm talking about on The Young and the
on the
Restless.
Young and Restless.
Yeah.
What was supposed to happen?
I forgot. Let's show you. Let me see. This was fun. Oh, enjoy your weekend as well. Hold on,
I can't think.
Yeah, that's because it's a.
Oh, things were supposed to intensify between Chelsea and Adam over Connor, and something with Jordan. Dang on it, and Claire is trying to, I guess, make peace with Jordan being gone and something like that.
Hold on, let me see. I got it right here.
You don't think they should fire her?
Oh, who?
Heather. I'm looking at the comments. I was like, I want her to fire Heather.
Yep.
Audra shakes off Tucker's arm, saying, "Don't touch me," and Nate comes in saying, "You heard the lady."
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
And then Diane and Kyle get into it, where Diane said, "You supposed to report to me, not the other way around."
Oh, they still going at it?
Girl, we ain't seen them in a while. I ain't seen. When last time we seen Diane was when the whole thing with Jack.
Last time when her and Kyle got in their little argument.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a good month. Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Delmonica, listen. She said get those brackets ready. I got both of mine are done.
I still gotta do mine.
The girls and the guys, they are done, done, done. And oh yeah, you are in the Facebook group. So let me know who you think when you go over to the Facebook group, and let me know who you think gonna win it all.
Send me your picks so I can do my bracket.
Wait a minute, you gonna copy off of me?
Look, I ain't been watching college basketball this year. I have no clue who's
I
winning.
sent it. I sent it in the group chat. I got pictures of it because I sent it to my kids.
I need that too.
Oh Lord. Yeah,
I only have like a couple. I know about a couple teams on the women's side, but the men's side, I have no clue.
oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, no, somebody put something in the comments saying if Thorne was Luna's father, that means she committed incest by sleeping with RJ. Yeah. We talked about that earlier. So, all right, you guys. Thank you very much. We are getting ready to go to the end of the month. Can y'all believe next week is the week of the 25th?
I am getting older and time is moving by fast. So
Time is flying. I mean, we like I said, we say this all the time. We were just talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and now, we're going into April.
yeah.
So,
Oh my goodness.
all right, you guys. We will see you then. Otherwise, have a good weekend. Let's see who brackets bust out there. The J Money said, "Let me copy it too."
And thank you guys for all the birthday wishes today.
We are all winning or we all losing.
Right.
Now, if we all win, then we have to split the funds. But
Girl, that is hilarious. All right, so I will chat with you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for the birthday wishes. Love you all.